And ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together to welcome the Honourable Minister for kindly sharing his esteemed views with all of us.
Honorable Minister of Tourism and the Development of Northeastern Region, our very good friend, whom I have known for many years, both professionally as well as in my personal capacity, and who has been very tirelessly working over the last several months in order to make sure that the G20 series goes well. I must thank Kishan Reddy ji for making all of us a part of this event. It's because of him and his efforts that we are here, and we are having this beautiful event being organized in the beautiful paradise on earth. Also seated next to him, Ramchandji, who's just joined. I don't think I have to make any introduction because people come to see us because we are sitting beside him. So, we have, you just now heard, our very dynamic colleague, Sherpa Amitab Kant ji, Mr. Srinagar ji, Mr. Poor Chandra ji, Arvind Singh ji, our dynamic secretary, Vidyavati ji, who till recently was part of our ministry, our loss is there again now. All the officials of the Ministry of Tourism, delegates, representatives from different G20 countries and the other invitee countries, ladies and gentlemen. I think over the last few moments when I was trying to capture what all I was seeing, and I was also listening to Amitabh, the first thought that occurred to me was that it is indeed a moment of rejuvenation, a moment of reincarnation. And I'm sure many of you would agree with me, at least to those who belong to my generation, that this event has actually transported us back by about half a century. And exactly 50 years back, we had another star from Mumbai who shook the leg besides the Dal Lake and sent the entire valley rocking in hysteria. And his name, as you rightly guessed, was Shami Kapoor, who virtually made Kashmir his home. And sometimes I wonder, I tend to think, but for Kashmir, whether Shami Kapoor would have been what he ultimately wanted to be. So that is the magic of Kashmir. The series of movies, Kashmir Ki Kali, Janwar, Rajkumar, he, I think, also not only became a star out of Kashmir, but contributed immensely in personifying Kashmir to the rest of the world. And many like him would stay here for months together. The iconic hotel we have sitting beside us, Lalit Hotel, was one of the favorite abodes where they would stay. That time, in those days, it was known as Oberoi. And the entire shooting of the film would be done there. I remember one of the movies, 10 Lakh, was virtually they didn't walk out of the hub gate. And many of the beautiful songs would be decked up in the hotel. Hai Duniya Usi Ki Zamana Usi Ka was actually done in the bar of Hotel Oberoi. The old timers would remember. Main Pal Do Pal Ka Shair, that beautiful lyric written by Sahil Ludhianvi, was done in one of those rooms in Hotel Lalit. And they got some girls from the women college to be the audience. Some of these oldies still remember. So it's virtually a nostalgic, it takes you back. And I think after that, it was also because Kashmir was professionally also, I think, the best location that a film producer or director can find, because it's versatile. You have plateaus here, you have lakes here, you have fountains here, you have snow peaks here, you have skating areas here, you have golf courses here. And it's very cost effective. You have tulip gardens here. You don't have to travel to Holland. It's just beside the hotel where some of our delegates are living. So all this made it a natural destination. And as Amitabh was saying, that every movie would actually have at least one sojourn to Kashmir. And in the process, it became a huge avenue of revenue as well as business. We had school boys and girls doing part-time jobs as extras, as clapper boys, and in Jai Jai Shiv Shankar, the song, besides the temple, we had one of our local groups doing that drum beating. So it became a huge vocation actually till about 1990. And Amitabh was now referring to Bobby. But what is significant is that Raj Kapoor, just before Bobby, had experimented doing a movie in Europe, which was a great hit called Sangam, a triangular love story. And after that, he came back to an autobiographical, which was good but didn't work well in the box office. So as a revenge, he came back. And when he came back vengefully, his natural choice was Kashmir. He didn't go to Europe, he came to Kashmir to prove that he was back. So that, I think this is something the next generation needs to be informed about, because suddenly in 1990 and thereafter, there was a halt. And the serious researchers of these times would realize that many of those movies which are being shot in Kashmir Valley during that time were at their wits' end. The producers and the directors didn't know where to go. One of those movies I vividly remember was Henna, the last movie which Raj Kapoor directed during his lifetime. He passed away somewhere in late 1980s. Then his progeny took over the task of completing that movie, Henna. But by the time they started, it was 1989, 90, and everything came to a halt. And I vividly recall because Rishi used to be quite in touch with me, Rishi Kapoor, unfortunately no longer with us now. They had to do a lot of search across the world to match that location where they left that earlier scene of Henna. Finally, I think they zeroed down on a location in Vienna. Now you can imagine how much of resource, how much of cost, how much of effort it would have taken. So that is Kashmir. It's not only that we sing songs out of being attached to this place, or being romantic about it, or being philosophical about it, or trying to create a myth about it. It's also that you see as a hardcore professional, you have no choice, no better off. And then I think now this is the time of revival. That's why he said a moment of rejuvenation. And the other part, which is also not much talked about, because our memory goes back only up to Shammi Kapoor, maximum to Rajesh Khanna, then maximum way back to Devanand. But the first star of Bombay industry was produced from Jammu Kashmir. I know how many in this room would be able to guess it. It's crorepati question. Kaun banega crorepati? Jammu Kashmir has contributed hugely to Indian film industry. And you know who was the first star? Can anybody make a guess? Oh, no. Barai Sani was never from Kashmir. Barai Sani was from Lahore. He was from West Pakistan. No, K.L. Sehgal. Kundan Lal Sehgal, who is, if you read the archives of film industry, the first who came to be known as a star was Kundan Lal Sehgal. He used to perform in theatre over here. They went to Simla as a salesman in some company. There he was discovered a P.C. Sarkar, who had a studio in Calcutta, because most of the industry was in Calcutta those days. Later on, the film industry, Bollywood took over, and the capital also shifted over to Bombay, the national capital. Then he took him over to Calcutta, and then he, of course, became a singing star. Then also came back to Bombay. And in the recent times, not Barai Sahni, but another Punjabi family hailed from Srinagar, and that was Ramanand Sagar. Ramanand Sagar actually is Chopra. That name adopted is Sagar. And his nephew, Vidhu Vinod Chopra, is a good friend of ours. He was my senior in the college. Is now a very successful producer. He's recently made a movie called BA Fail. So he wanted to do a shooting outside the UPSC office, which I, to an extent, tried to help him. I think it will be released very fast. So we have contributed hugely. Yes, Om Prakash, of course, was from Jammu and Kashmir, as you said. So was Sundar, the other comedian. But one of the iconic stars was Rajkumar, which hardly you correct. He was a Kashmiri Pandit and also Jeevan. So it's not only, it's been a two-way traffic. While Bollywood benefited out of Kashmir, Kashmir also contributed to it. And now, if you have a revival of this, if the traffic starts, which I'm sure the Ram Charanji is going to be the harbinger of this, the torch bearer of this, when his leg shakes, the valley would again go hysteric as it went when Shami Kapoor shook his leg. Because we can't match his leg, nor Shami Kapoor's. Not everybody is born with that leg. But once the gateways are opened, you will see people even from abroad coming here, because you can't find all the locations within a radius of just 10-20 kilometers. You go from Pahalgam to Gulmarg or Sonabag, whatever. And even within Kashmir, you just have to sit in one of these gardens and shoot the entire film. And as Amitabh was saying that it's synonymous with romantic cinema, it's also been synonymous with melancholic cinema. And I tell you how, in a single movie called Kabhi Kabhi, which was directed by Yash Chopra. On the one hand, you have all those romantic songs between Rakhi and Amitabh, and then also Amitabh singing a solo there. And then you also have the mist behind, and in a long coat, Amitabh walking out and singing the last line of that famous poem, "Main janta hu to ghair hai magar yun hi." Magar yun hi. Because Sahil's many lyrics were adopted into the movies much after the movies were made, because this is part of, I know, I can go on and on this subject for a whole day. Sahil produced two magnum opus, one was Parchaiyan, the other was Talkhiyan. Those two majmooe jo nazmon ke, he wrote when he was just 22. Later on, these were adopted in the movies. So this was one of the songs which was adopted from one of his books, which is actually a melancholy song. कि जिंदगी तेरी आंखों में साया में ना गुजरती तो शाबाद हो भी सकती थी. अब वो नहीं तो ये आलम है कि मैं सोचता हूँ कि तू चाहे कि मुझे गुरबरी भी. मैं जानता हूँ तो गैर है मगर यूं ही. And he leaves. Shair was known to leave halfway. Similarly, many of his other lyrics, चलो एक बार फिर से अजनबी बन जाए, they were adopted, and this is also one movie. So it's the same song, you have both romance and you have melancholy. And the backdrop was being provided by Kashmir, the same location. You didn't have to use steam showers in the studio as you use if you have seen a movie being shot. It was happening naturally. You just had to walk to a different place with a lot of mist. And Amitabh just walked out with a long coat, also signifying melancholy and sadness, and sang that one last line of the song in a different location, in a different background. So that, I think, is only a cinematographer, someone who is deeply involved in the business of filmmaking would be able to appreciate. You have a win-win situation over here, a win-win location over here. And many of the producers I have known personally who would come here with a very little cast, hero and they would rope in boys and girls sit like here. And they would do the rest of the job. And so many movies you've seen those choruses happening. So I think there's a huge, huge potential. I'm glad. I must compliment our friend, Honorable Minister for Tourism, Kishan Reddy ji. They are coming out with a national strategy on film tourism. And therefore, when the film tourism happens, it will be two-way traffic. More and more of youngsters. We have a very handsome lot of youth over here who are looking for breaks. So they'll also find a break in Bollywood, Tollywood, Everywood. Not in woods, but in glamour wood, because woods has a different meaning. So there will be two-way traffic. At the same time, our bakery in 1960s was known to be next to London Bakery, the Boulevard Bakery, the Kashmir Srinagar Bakery, because we had so much of influx of the foreign tourists that our local boys and girls learn to speak English and learn to prepare English cakes. So it's a multifarious enrichment which is going to happen. I must compliment and thank Kishan Reddy ji and his team for giving us this opportunity. We were waiting to happen, and under Prime Minister Modi, I think this is the best times happening for India, for Jammu and Kashmir. I'm sure those of the friends who come here from other places would go back as messengers and tell them, this is how it appears. When I was entering in, some media person asked me what is the difference. I said the difference is that earlier on, if you had an event like this over here, a hartal call would be made from Islamabad and the shops would be shut in Residency Road, Srinagar. Today, hartal call being made from there, from here, but people going about with their activity, buzz there, and in fact, the common man has moved on. And I can say this with a certain amount of confidence, having been a student of science, we've learned not to talk about it without evidence. If you do a quiet survey, the common man walking in the streets of Srinagar today wants to move on. He's seen two generations having got lost at the altar of these incompatible times. The youth of Kashmir is highly aspirational, highly forward-looking, very intelligent, and very, very aspirational. He can see the enormous opportunities unfolded by Prime Minister Modi across the country, and he does not wish to miss the bus. So for God's sake, I think it's the responsibility of all of us, and we owe it to the common man of Kashmir, more so to the youth of Kashmir, to create such kind of a milieu that we, at the end of the day, do not regret having been unjust to our children, having done injustice to our next generation. Thank you very much, and once again, I compliment the Minister.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together to welcome our very special guest today, Sri K. Ramachandran, who is an Indian actor, producer, and entrepreneur. He is also a global star and brand ambassador for India across the globe. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you very much indeed for gracing this occasion. And ladies and gentlemen, I now have the proud privilege in inviting Shri J. Kishan Reddy ji, the Honorable Union Minister of Tourism, Culture and Development of Northeast Region, Government of India, to kindly address the August House. Ladies and gentlemen, let's once again put our hands together to welcome.
Namaskar. Very good afternoon, one and all. Honorable Union Minister, Government of India, Science and Technology, Atomic Energy and Space, respected Jitendra Singh ji, G20 Sherpa 2023, Sri Amitab Kant ji, Secretary Tourism Sri Arvind Singh ji, G20 Chief Coordinator Sri Arthavarshan Sringla ji, friends, respected delegates from G20 member countries and invite countries, distinguished representatives of international organization, all the missions, all the stakeholders of tourism and hospitality sector, senior officials of the Government of India and Jammu Kashmir, stalwart of the Indian film industry, popular film star and producer, my friend Mr. Ram Charan Teja Garu, and a successful film producer, Mr. Dilraj Garu, and friends from media. In India, the spirit of Atithi Devo Bhava that exhorts one to treat the guest as a divine. On behalf of 140 crore people of India, especially our Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, I wholeheartedly welcome you all to Srinagar. This city is one of the India's most beautiful and picturesque city. Centuries ago, our ancestors invoked the sun god of the Marthan temple here only. Before I talk about the significance of film tourism, I would like to highlight the beauty and cultural richness of the host destination, this Srinagar city. Before Amitabh Kant ji and Jitendra Singh ji, in detail, they spoken about this Srinagar city. Srinagar is one of the India's natural beauty and oldest city. The beauty of Srinagar, the paradise on earth, has been spoken and retained about since our ancient times. The 12th century author Sri Kalyana, in his book named Rajatarangani, wrote that the gods often descended to sit on the banks of the lakes of Srinagar. Friends, due to its unique beauty, the place has captured the imagination of filmmakers and artists throughout the years. Many famous Indian and international films and documentaries were shot in Jammu Kashmir last so many years. Over the next few days, our aim to revive film tourism not only in Jammu Kashmir like it is used to be in the past but across India. I am sure you will be mesmerized by the beauty of Jammu Kashmir during your stay in Srinagar city. Friends, we have gathered here to explore the immense potential of film tourism and its contribution to our vibrant tourism industry. India offers every type of film location to filmmakers. We have majestic mountains, valleys of flowers, sun-kissed beaches, ocean and rivers, cold and hot deserts, spiritual locations covering all faiths, wildlife and natural beauty, thousands of heritage monuments, and many beautiful destinations. Friends, we are also chalking out a comprehensive action plan for tourism, for economic growth and cultural preservation. In fact, India will be a one-stop for film production, as we have beautiful locations, talented technicians, state-of-art post-production facilities, expert teams that can create amazing visual and sound effects. Friends, I want to take this opportunity to applaud the historic moment for us that our country witnessed this year with two Oscar wins at the 95th Academy Award. The lovely song in a world famous Natu Natu from the film Triple R won the Best Original Song, and the second one Indian documentary film The Elephant Whispers won the Oscar for Best Documentary Short. The hero of the film Triple R, which won the Academy Award, Natu Natu, Mr. Ramataran Teja, is with us in this event, and thanks to especially Ramcharan Garu and Dilraj Garu. My heartiest congratulations to the creators of this legendary successes, and for us the international and entertainment for this landmark achievement. Film tourism has emerged as a powerful medium to promote destination and tourism potential. Friends, films have a great influence on the travel choices for international and domestic tourists, especially younger generation. The ability of films to transport viewers to different locations, create a strong connection, and inspires them to experience these places firsthand. Globally, all the countries have recognized the direct and indirect benefits of film production to boost film-induced tourism. It helps in creating employment opportunities in sectors like hospitality, transportation, gastronomy, and more. Today, this event gives us a platform to share policies, best practices in developing film tourism in front of all the G20 countries. Friends, as we embark on this excitement journey, let us remember that film tourism is not just about the showcasing the beauty of our destination on the silver screen, but also about preserving our cultural heritage in respected countries, promoting local tourism and local talent, and ensuring sustainable growth. In conclusion, I would like to express my gratitude to all the participants, organizers, and partners who have extended and contributed in this event. My special thanks to Ramataran Tej Garu and Dilraj Garu for gracing the occasion. Let us unlock the magic of film tourism and ensure that our incredible destinations continue to captivate hearts and minds around the world. You are all aware that the theme of India G20 presidency as a vision of our Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, one world, one family, one future, is inspired by our ancient belief of Vasudhaiva Kutumbam, meanings the world is one family. I once again express my gratitude to the entire G20 family for your presence here in beautiful city of Srinagar. I hope coming 2 days the 3 days conference will conclude with a proper message and especially ecotourism and film tourism to exchange and one country to other country best practices and exchange technology and through tourism and sustainability and cultural preservation and also employment generation. This is our agenda. I once again welcome all the international delegates and stakeholders and dignitaries on behalf of Government of India and Ministry of Culture, G20, this third tourism group of meetings. Friends, I once again thank and welcome. Jai Hind, Bharat Mata ki Jai.
Thank you, sir. It was indeed a pleasure to understand elaborated efforts of India to promote film tourism with the focus of attaining the aim of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And ladies and gentlemen, our special guest, Sri Konidela Ramcharan, is one of the highest paid actors of Indian cinema. He is the recipient of 3 Filmfare Awards and 2 Nandi Awards. Since 2013, he has featured in Forbes India's Celebrity 100 list. Made his acting debut with the action film Chirutha in 2007, a box office hit winning the Filmfare Award for Best Male Debut. South. He rose to prominence starring in S.S. Rajamouli's fantasy action film Magadira in 2009, the highest grossing Telugu film of all times. At the time of its release, winning the Filmfare Award for Best Actor Telugu. His notable works include Racha 2012, Nayak 2013, Yevadu 2014, Govindudu, Andarvedulu 2014 and Dhruva 2016. He has then starred in the blockbuster Rangasthalam 2018, winning his 2nd Filmfare Award for Best Actor Telugu. And of course the famous RRR in 2022, which earned over 1,200 crores, thus becoming his highest grosser. For RRR, he received a nomination at the Critics' Choice Super Awards for Best Actor in an Action Movie. In 2016, launched his own production house, Konidela Production Company, which has notably bagged Khadi number 150 in 2017 and Sai Rao Narsimha Reddy 2019. Beyond his film career, he owns the polo team Hyderabad Polo and Riding Club and was a co-owner of the regional airline service TrueJet. His song Natu Natu won the Oscars this year for being the best original song. And may I now invite you, sir, to kindly grace the stage. Let's put our hands together to welcome you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now have the fireside chat session with Sri K. Ramcharan, our special guest, in conversation with Mayank Shekharji, an Indian film critic, journalist and author. May I invite you to kindly grace the stage. Sri Mayank Sharma is the first film critic to win the Ramnath Goenka, India's top journalism prize. His last book, Name, Place, Animal Thing, on India and pop culture was critically acclaimed Amazon top title. His ongoing podcasts and shows sit with Hit List and the Bombay Film Story have bagged multiple prizes besides a whole audience online. Having served in the founding editorial team of Mumbai Mirror, then as national cultural editor with Hindustan Times, he is currently entertainment editor with Midday newspaper in Mumbai, where you can follow his reviews and writings on cinema and mass culture. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Shri Mayank Sharma. And now sir, the stage and our special guest are all yours. Over to you.
Dignitaries and delegates, hello and welcome to this fascinating fireside conversation on films and tourism with, what should I say, the global star of the Academy Award winning film RRR and on many other things. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it deserves a big round of applause all over again. You know, I have to say this, I'm pretty sure over the past 6 months, we got tired of talking about the Oscar fever, that RRR, put the whole world through. And we were so excited watching this development from here in India. So you will have to excuse me because I would have to ask you this, which is, what was it like going through the whole Oscar campaign in the United States, of course, which is a G20 member country, in Japan, where you also went and promoted the film, which is another G20 country. I mean, what was that craze? What did you see? What did you make of it? What did you learn?
Firstly, good evening, good afternoon, everyone, to all my G20 friends and all the dignitaries, and my special thank you to Kishanji, our tourism minister, and all the dignitaries who are here, Amitabh Kant and Mr. Arvind, who has taken the pleasure to invite me. All of you, thank you so much for having me. Shekhar, thank you for having me. I never get tired talking about, they say, let's talk less about achievements. But RRR is so special. I shy away from talking about my achievements. I feel like a third person when somebody's talking about our achievements. I feel like I'm listening about somebody else. That's how detached I am with my work. But not with RRR. RRR is not just my film, it has become India's film. Indian people have owned it. And I want to correct my statement, it's not just India. People from the East and the West and the North and the South, all the countries have owned it. My dear friend, the Korean ambassador is here. I've seen your video, sir. Thank you so much. What a tribute to RRR. It is not our song anymore. Fantastic. So right after the session, I am excited to have a dance off with you. So like I'm saying, it's not my movie, it's not my song, it's not my Academy Award, it's not my director, my composer who won it. It's the people who won it. It's the people who have taken it to the Academy, it's to the global globe. And for me to having an opportunity to talk about it again, it's not about talking about me, it's talking about the people and people's love for the song.
But tell me something, Ram. I mean, of course, we mentioned the fact that its box office figures are very well known. It's 1,200 crore, as was rightly pointed out at the beginning of this conversation. But hey, we are looking at a film that became the most watched international film in the history of Netflix. And pretty much everywhere you look, someone or the other is dancing to Nadu Nadu. And you already said you were going to do it in the end, so I'm going to take your word for it. What explains this unique and universal connect to this particular film in an international way, in a way that everyone in the world could see and just be drawn to it?
Shekhar, I really don't know what it is and what it takes to make a song like this and take an award in Hollywood or LA, going to those Golden Globes. I really don't know. When I did this song, we shot this song for 17 odd days. When I talk about that song, my knees still wobble. I get knee pains. So, I don't know. When you do, you just do it. And you do it for the passion of the song. And I swear to God, none of the team members knew it was going to reach. We were so happy for what the appreciation we got in India. The highest grosser, the highest grossing film in India. We were more than happy, and I actually moved on to my next project. And then we got a call saying, some theaters, the Chinese theater in LA, some audience are really appreciating your film. I said, okay, good. 250, 350 people, 650 people in the theater are enjoying it. And that became viral. And we've been getting calls from the best studios, the best film friends from the other industry. And wow, that's now, I couldn't stop it.
So you just like took it because it's just happening the way it is. There's no point in thinking and redoing this in any case. Right? It is what it was. Did you have a crazy fan moment? Did you like look at this person and go, what's going on?
It's 95 years since our industry has begun. It took 95 years for our Indian film industry to get a recognition internationally. I'm just proud of that fact that the West or the East have taken interest in our films and our emotion, which is so rooted to our culture, our traditions, not aping any other country's feelings or emotions. This is a true Indian director, true Indian producer, a true Indian actors, a true Indian emotion. And this went across the globe and achieved what it achieved. I'm just proud. I thank my director for doing this. It is not a Hollywood studio hiring us as actors,
Right.
casting us. No, this is a pure Desi film.
Which makes complete sense, and you also became, in every way, the global face of India through its cinema, through those funds, and through RRR, of course. Now, I'm just wondering, if you were to meet, and you did meet so many filmmakers from across the globe when you were out there in the US and other countries as well. If you were to invite filmmakers from across the world to this country to come and shoot, especially someone who's been in films for so long, what would the place, where would you start from? What kind of places would you definitely tell filmmakers from across the world to come and shoot here? What are the more places that you shot at?
God, I've shot in many countries, from the east to the north. I've shot in Iceland,
Right.
the coldest.
But the coolest places you shot here in India.
In
Or-
India.
Yeah. So if you were to invite filmmakers from around the world.
it is so cliched right now if I
Right.
say this.
Hmm.
You won't believe. I swear to God, please guys, don't take me for this word. Kashmir is that kind of a place. I've been coming here because my dad is in the same industry. He's been working as an actor since 45 years. So I'm the second generation in my family. I was coming here since I was probably 1986. That's the first time I visited Kashmir. My dad has shot extensively in Gulmarg, Sonmarg, all these beautiful areas. I used to come as a child. It used to be something, if I was invited by my dad to Kashmir, it used to be like I've achieved something that summer, in the summer holidays. It's like an achievement. And you will not believe I have shot in this auditorium 2016, in this beautiful auditorium in Kashmir, a movie called Dhruva, where I play police academy, graduating out of a police academy. I've shot in this, I've sat in that chair, and I've shot. And this place has something magical. It draws people. It draws the attention of people. And no matter what we hear about Kashmir or whatever, this is such a surreal feeling when you come to Kashmir. It's been 95 years Indian film industry has begun. It will take another 95 years to explore Kashmir, let me tell you that. It's that beautiful. In one lifetime, as a tourist, living, as an Indian, and I feel when I come to Kashmir as a place, because it's something I look up to. Wow, my dad is taking me to Kashmir, that means I've done something good. this is a beautiful, untapped place. And I also slightly feel people don't tap it too much because it is so raw, it is so virgin, it is so unkept, so untapped. I want this beautiful paradise on earth to remain like this. Sometimes there are some beautiful forest reserves in India from the north to the south, and most of it we speak and most of it is unknown. And especially in Andhra Pradesh, we have this Srinagar forest, Amrabad. It's got the biggest tiger reserve. 65 plus tigers we have. It is the largest tiger reserve in India. And my wife works with the tribals and the community there to keep them occupied, not to indulge themselves in helping the poachers, giving them a job. What do you say? The community, the cultural things they have, making wax. Candles out of the bee honeys and the wax that it comes out of it, giving them a work, some kind of a job to continue and have them earn money. This is very important. I used to tell my wife, why don't you construct a beautiful resort like Ranthambore Forest or Kaziranga, Jim Corbett? She said, I was begging the government not to do anything here, because the tigers are so peaceful in these tiger reserves that the tourists should not come and visit us. We have such beautiful reserves. Now, did I speak against the tourism?
No, not at all.
Sorry,
Well, so long as you keep that distance, right, I think you can do both tourism and sustainability. As Minister Singh pointed out, and I didn't realize he's an absolute encyclopedia in this cinema, he really wants you. That's good. There's more than 95 years here. Right.
Well, yes.
1913, that's right.
Yes. Yeah.
And he wants you, and I think he's seen you moving your legs. The only other person who could do it was Shami Kapoor. So I guess you played a cop last time. You'll have to do the Nadu Nadu in Kashmir now. That's what he wants. So I think let's hope that happens soon.
Sure, sir. If you're joining me, please. Minister. Absolutely, sir. It's my honor.
But you know, it has to be said, I mean, as a person, besides the fact that you travel for work, and I've shot across the world and India as well, you travel a lot for leisure. You actually collect artifacts from places you go to. Where does that passion come from?
God, I don't know where this comes from. Because I'm not much into the art or the artifacts, but something that is meaningful and something that connects me to that city when I go back. I usually collect something and it makes me remember of that country. And Europe has always been my favorite country. Now Japan has become my new favorite country. The culture, the people, it is a special country. I'll tell you why. Japan, when we went to promote RRR in Japan,
It's huge in Japan.
it was huge. We did about 150 million in Japan, and I thank the Japanese audience. They are so warm. And it's in Japan. Why it's so famous, so special to me is my wife is carrying right now. She's in her 7th month, and the magic happened in Japan. So I will never forget Japan, and of course, to all the other G20 friends in the countries who have come here, each one are so special to India, the relationship with India, and especially film tourism. We all want to go and shoot in every country. All the countries are so rich in their culture, and we as Indian actors and Indian film, we want to explore our culture and their culture. I want to see how these two cultures can come together and create a phenomenon, which is the global cinema, not Indian cinema or any other country's cinema. I want to see a global cinema, and with all your support, I think it can happen.
You know, as Mr. Kant also said, I mean, Indian cinema is also one of the ways that Indians have access to the world, right? And we've seen those places, we want to go there. To quote some recent examples, you can think of Turkey. A lot of people want to go to Turkey after they saw Turkey in the Ragnarok, right? A lot of Indians went to London in the 90s after they saw Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. Everybody wanted to be there, right? Which is the same thing as how everyone wanted to go to Goa after Dil Chahta Hai. Are there examples from your films where they've seen this and that's the country they want to go to? Or films that you've seen, and because you've seen them, that's the country you want to go to?
come to India. Please. This is, India is so vast and it's so untapped. I don't know, a lot of people, Mr. Krishna Reddy, our Honorable Minister, has educated us about the vastness of India, from the Thar Desert and the east and the mountains, which is so vast. And the south, we have the beautiful culture, the God's own country, the Kerala backwaters. There are so many. I think I want to explore India more. I don't think I want to travel for my next couple of films unless the producer and the director is from Hollywood. I want to stick to my culture. I want to stick here, and I want to educate that our Indian sentiments are so strong. Our culture is so strong. There is a lot of dignity in our stories. Nowadays, when you see, it's not about South India, North Indian movies. It's about the Indian. You take a story. Our Desi stories are coming out finally, and I'm sure that the other countries, when they see what is good, why should I go to an Indian cinema theater? Why should I see an Indian cinema? Not to see what they've already experienced. They want to see what is India. And today, our lovely directors are showing what is India on the silver screen.
Which you have. And I think it might be fair to suggest that even without going to those countries, cinema is a great way for us to travel through our eyes. You don't need a passport, you don't need a plane ticket, you certainly don't need a visa. You can just watch a film and think that you've been to that country and then you return. And Indian cinemas played that role hugely, right? Now, one of the things is that, which a lot of people don't realize, is how many films we make in a year. And that it's not just films that are made in Mumbai. There are films made in Chennai, there are films made in Bangla, in Kolkata, there are films made down, in the industry that you belong to, which is also the industry, which is also the city where Mr. Reddy is from. Tell us a little more about the cinema that comes from Hyderabad. That's another face that you are of and have been for many years. How is Indian mainstream cinema different from other cinemas? And how is cinema that comes from Hyderabad different from other mainstream cinemas in India?
That's a very intense question.
We have the time in the world.
No, I don't know if I have the knowledge to answer that.
Okay. You have all the experience.
Yeah, I'll try to say what I have from my experience. There are much better people, legends who can talk about this and give you the right answer. This is one industry that has paid my EMIs, which I grew up in, paid my bills, made me who I am, made my dad who he is, and the great legends we have in our country. It was for a long time not recognized as an industry, but today it is a film industry. And thank God it is. And this film industry is something, it is the best form of entertainment in India, which can make you forget of all the worries. Because India, with 1.8 billion people, we have 1.8 billion problems. These films we make in India, sometimes people don't connect in the West. They're like, why are they dancing? Why are they fighting? Why are they dancing so much? But this is our culture. Every film industry, every country makes movies according to their culture. If you see Norwegian movies, Scandinavian movies, they are so beautiful. It's all about the green, it's about the ecosystem. And quiet, protecting the ocean, protecting the vast land. And the West, you have some serious films, the critical films, critically acclaimed. In India, when you're happy, you dance in my house. When you're sad, you dance. When you're wondering, what do I do, I still dance. So dance and song and dance is part of our culture. And that comes into the movie, fortunately or unfortunately, and we Indians love it. And aesthetically, when you shoot it in a nice way, I think the whole world will love it. And that is an example why RRR was loved and why Natunadu got the best song in the Academy.
I have to say, for someone watching cinema from Hyderabad from a distance, I live in Mumbai, one of the things that intrigues me is its star system as well, right? For instance, When I say Ramcharan, that's great. But I think if I said mega power star, everyone will get it. Your father, the great Chiranjeevi, is called the mega star. Your uncle, Pawan Kalyan, is called the power star. So you become the mega power star. Firstly, tell me, where do these names come from? How are these decided? Is there a committee that decides, okay, now we've got a mega and power because father and uncle?
Not at all. It comes from the love of people, and it comes from the fans who love us, and it's because of them we are all sitting here and enjoying this life. And they have different ways of calling us. Sometimes they say Anna, they say Bhai, to Salman, to my dad they say Chiru, Megastar. It's all coming when you are brimming with lots of emotions and the volcanic the reaction comes. They just have a way to call you. That's it. It's just coming from the love of the audience.
And you've also grown up with that love, watching the world around you love your father so much. Chiranjeevi, Chiru as fans also call him, and Megastar as well. Is it tough to be the son of someone so illustrious? I mean, we talk about, nepotism and blah, 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 but it's actually tougher when you have to live up to something so huge. It's hard to grow up under the banner tree usually. Was that tough for you, or is it still tough for you? Ram?
It was very difficult as a child because I could not get out of my house when I wanted. I could not sneak out of my house. I could not sneak out in the night,
Right.
go with my friends. So that's difficult.
Okay.
Apart from
Because
that,
everyone knows you. I saw you there.
there's so many people in the house, you just cannot sneak out of your house.
Okay.
Take your dad's car and drive in the roads.
Right.
Jokes apart, I think it's only a pleasure. It was never a pressure for me. It was only a pleasure to be born. And I think I work best under pressure. And that pressure was my motivation. Waking up till today, my dad is 68 years. He has signed about 4 films. He's one of the highest paid actors now at 68. He's giving us a challenge. He wakes up at 5:30 still and works out, goes out. Even one day if I'm feeling lazy, I'm like, man, so it is a lot of stress to be his son. So there's not a single day I can rest, but I'm glad I have a family like this, an audience like this that are looking forward for our work. And henceforth, thanks to RRR, that the world has really embraced us. From Korea, Japan, LA, and the East, and the West, everybody has really embraced us. It's more of a responsibility now. It's not just my being dad's son.
Right.
It's being the world's actor, global actor. It just doesn't come and sit on your shoulder just like that. You have to work for it. I can lose this opportunity. I can lose this charm even tomorrow if I don't work for it. Every single day I have to wake up and say I have to give something back to all my fans who have appreciated my work, who have embraced our films, who embraced Indian films. If not now, there's no other time. Now is the time. You have to do it for the world cinema.
In 2009, when you made Magadira, with S.S. Rajamouli, the fantastic director, the star director now, that was the biggest commercial success in Telugu cinema at the time. And then you took that leap with the same director with RRR, which is the biggest global success we've had from Indian cinema. How did that leap happen? I mean, we're looking from a film made for one region, largely, to a film that the world, I mean, was there a leap in terms of imagination? Was there a leap in terms of the budgets went up because Bahubali was already made by Rajamouli before? How did this big leap happen, or are we just in the right place at the right time in India's history? Everything's going to be big now.
You're right. I think we were in the right place at the right time. I wish we knew the world will embrace us. Then the budgets would have been much better. My salary, my remuneration, my salary would have been better. But no, we didn't. We just was making a very straightforward Indian emotional Indian subject, a rooted subject. And I feel, how come? There was a friend of mine who was asking me, how come Ram, the West or the East, liked our Indian emotion? I said, there is the answer. An emotion doesn't have any language. An emotion doesn't have any color. Emotion is emotion. You feel it, you enjoy it, you love it, and you embrace it. I think that's what my directors have always cracked it, and my director, my special director, Rajmouli Garu, has cracked it even better than anybody else. And paved the path for all the other directors to say, wish for it, imagine it, dream for it, and the world is at your call, at your feet. I don't want to say feet, but yeah, at your disposal.
Well, you're on the screen, so you could get the feet. You're looking up on the big screen, and it's almost in that distance. You're also a producer, Ram, and I think this is a great opportunity for you. And this is the final word I want you to have, coming back to films and tourism. You're sitting with some of the top stakeholders in films and television, on tourism. If you were to, and a policy is also going to be announced, if you were to give your wish list as a producer, as a filmmaker, on things that everyone should do to make sure that films and tourism are promoted simultaneously, what would your advice or your wish list be to all these people who are sitting here?
I mean, this event that is happening right now is an example. It's a great example. We all used to dream of an event like this, where all our friends, all the G20 friends come to our country and learn our country, and experience our cuisine, experience our colors, experience our festivals, experience everything about India. And today, thanks to Srinagar Modi, our Prime Minister, who made it happen, and along with him, all the great ministers, Kishanji, and all the other dignitaries who made it possible. We could not imagine this. Mr. Shekhar, this never happened. It happened now. So we should appreciate. And I think India, you don't have to talk about India. India is so vast. It is spoken. I think there's a lot said about India. There's a lot seen about India. I think just come and experience it. It will be a beautiful, beautiful experience. And I promise you, please go back home and bring all your family and friends. I promise you, you will never regret it.
I'm going to end this conversation on the most important question to be asked, honestly speaking. This is something that everyone who's here really wants to know from you. What does Natu mean?
My knees wobbling.
What these two words mean, yes.
Should I get very emotional about it, or should I be nice and
First, get dictionary about it. What does it mean? Because there are multiple meanings even online.
Natu Telugu means.
They first said dance, but apparently not.
Kishan garu meer Telugu varu. Natu.
Then they said raw.
It's
Right.
rural. It's the flavor of your city or your country.
It's
Natu. But in Hindi it became nacho.
Nacho, yeah.
So,
Right.
I don't know. So I think this question should not be answered.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the song. It's a
I think
beautiful song.
what is most important is for the ambassador from South Korea to please come up on stage, and we have to have some happy music up here on the stage, please. And this Mr. Kant also wants to join us.
Please sit down. Please sit down. Please sit down. Please sit
When
down.
we play the song, any of our delegates would like to join a popular star on the stage for doing that famous Natu step. We invite our international delegates on stage to join our famous star for the Natu step. May I request you to kindly stay back as I invite on stage Sri G. Kishan Reddy ji to do the honors of felicitating our special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, we once again thank him for that very interesting fireside chat and for doing the honors of performing that famous step for all of us. And we would request the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Government of India, to kindly felicitate with a Kashmiri shawl our famous actor from south of India. Thank you very much indeed.